We're fighting robots. Mega Man.
Welcome to the Podtendo podcast, where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. We can be contacted on Twitter at Podtendo Podcast, email us at podtendo@gmail.com, or check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/podtendo, which now gets updated sometimes because I have an app on my phone. Like, pretty cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Before I get carried away, I am your co-host, Mick, and I will be joined every episode by my co-host,
Tyson.
All right, we're back. I don't use Facebook. Is that weird?
No, not at all, man. I stopped using it
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah, that was about the same time I got rid of it, too. It seemed kind of petty.
They did a study, and people that use more than 4 social medias, so any like Instagram,
Yeah.
like I even count Snapchat these days.
Yeah.
If you ascribe to 4 or more, you are higher risk for depression.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and they say that lurking, everybody did it. You go on Facebook and
Yeah.
you look at other people's pictures. Yeah, that apparently is a huge driver towards mental illness and depression.
Yeah. Well, it can't be good, all the screen time you're getting, too, right? Like, pick up a
Oh
book.
God, it's terrible. Yeah.
Although,
Talk to somebody.
One of the cool things that I don't know if you have any tablets or any ways of getting to a Kindle, Amazon has a really sweet comic sale going on right now. I got the whole Civil War series, Road to the Civil War, Infinity Gauntlet, and Old Man Logan
Nice.
for $16 today.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're regular.
Old Man Logan's really fantastic.
Now they are just like the digital copies on my iPad or whatever, so like that is the one limitation. But I mean, it's handy. I can take it anywhere. I'm gonna start taking them to work and like reading them on my like lunch break, which I think is gonna be a lot of fun. That's definitely like one of those things that's gonna kind of pump me up, keep me going there, and like super cheap. Regular price, they're like $20 for one of them. I was like, well, I'll just get 4 and then see how I like them. You right?
Yeah, and I mean, for some people that are like, oh, but it's digital, I have to have the physical copy. And you're like, yeah, but the physical copy is not worth anything because most of those are just in such mass print.
Yep.
So if you were going to get kind of the rarer ones in print, you're like, that's way too much money. Just buy the digital one, then you can actually read it.
Well, if it means something to you, right? Like if you really like the story, it really speaks to you. I have Long Halloween, the Batman. I love that comic. It's great. I like having the hard copy of it, and I've read it like a couple times. Like I almost should buy another copy because it's starting to get worn a little bit.
Yep.
But like something like that, like something that speaks to you, really like it, I'd say go have the hard copy. But otherwise, buy the digital copy for $4. Like, what are you gonna lose? Like, have a really awesome 2 hours reading a comic.
Yeah, and I mean, if you read the digital copy, which is cheaper than the hard print, and you love it that much, then you're like, well, this will be that one I make the exception to, and I buy it.
Uh-huh. Speaking of consumerism, yeah, that's a thing. NES Minis, the NES Classics still haven't gone down in price. Still hard to find, still rare. We haven't got the second, third, fourth waves yet. I was just looking. I found a Mega Man amiibo for $10 online today. I remember buying one of those guys for like $30 because it was super rare and hard to find.
Did you hear the news?
No.
Super Nintendo Mini.
Oh, no way.
Not even kidding you. It's happening. It's coming out next year. And you're like, did I not call this? I'm pretty sure I said that they're going to do one for every single year. And they're still going to be rare and really popular.
I might have to like buy a couple super, like the N64 minis.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And the other thing is, it's like those things have a finite life on them. So when you burn out your first copy, bust out the one in the box.
Well, I'm sure you'd have to play them a lot to burn them out. But that being said, NES Mini, still hard to find. If you're listening to it in the future and you have like 5 of them and they're in abundance and they're like giving them away, you live in a better time than we do right now. We're in the dark ages.
The dark times.
We're still on the dark timeline, apparently. Sucks. We will transfer off of it. With that being said, we're going to do one of our NES mini review shows. Got 2 episodes or 2 games to kind of talk about today. We're going to recommend, should you play them, should you not, should you waste your time? Should you waste your time by listening to an hour-long podcast on 2 games if you should play them? So that's kind of the theme today, so we'll get through that. That gives us 15 games complete on them. That's the halfway point. That was our goal. We will... I don't know if we'll talk about what we're going to plan in the future. We won't do that on this podcast. We won't bore you guys. We do enough producer's notes. But enough of that. We'll get right into the first game. The first game, Mega Man 2. It's a really big deal. Did you know that?
Yeah, man. It's one of the greatest games of all time.
It's a bloody big deal. The release date was June 11th, 1988. How Long to Beat has this game at 3 hours. Actual retail price was $39.99. No idea what the inflation on that would be. Current eBay price, a complete box is going for $93. A loose cartridge is going for about $55. The anniversary collection for the PS2 is going for $15. So as collectors, not a bad idea. And the Mega Man Legacy Collection can go anywhere between about $14 or $15 to $40. The eShop price, $5, mostly anywhere. If you have a 2DS, 3DS right now, and you are listening to this, I guess actually you won't listen to this live. You should go look at the Mega Man Legacy Collection on the 2DS eShop store right now. That's $9. That's a good deal.
Very good deal.
You get Mega Man's 1 through 6. It's a good deal. Or, if you have PS, just this game is in such abundance because it's so great. Yeah. Move right along into the development details of this title. Capcom didn't want to make a sequel to the original Mega Man, but the team decided to work on it anyways. A lot of unused content from the first game made it into the sequel. So this was the first game to have kids submit boss ideas for it. They had 8,370 submissions. It's a lot of submissions.
Yeah, especially considering it's something man.
All right. Is this something... Does Nintendo Power still exist?
No, it's discontinued.
Yeah, all right. Well, Nintendo Power, rest in peace, homie.
Yeah.
Sorry. But that's where you would submit it back in the day.
Cool.
Going back and looking at old Nintendo Powers, it's kind of fun. I don't know if you can get digital copies of them online, but I feel like that'd be a good investment.
Yeah, especially since they were kind of from a very nostalgic period for us.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember going to yard sales and buying used Nintendo Powers.
Mm-hmm.
How weird would that be, Shay, for someone to go to a garage sale and buy used magazines? Today, I look like a smart kid because I went and bought some actual collectible shit.
Sure did. Yeah, no, I found that box when I was home for the holidays. I was looking at it, I was like, this might be worth... I'm sure it's not worth lots, but I'm like, I bet you it's worth more than the $5 I paid for 20 copies. I bet you could sell them for about $5 a piece.
Probably, especially if we still had the posters. But me being a jackass kid, obviously ripped out all the posters.
Yep, because you really needed F-Zero on your wall.
Yeah.
Falcon Punch.
Way to be a dick, Tyson.
Way to be a dick. Mega Man 1 had relatively poor sales. Mega Man 2 is the game that caused the Mega Man franchise to become popular. It has sold 1.5 million units since 1988. So I think that counts every other iterations of all those legacy collections I was talking about. 1.5 million! That's so many versions!
Yeah, that's a shit ton. And
and that's assuming they're counting the Legacy Collection, the other collection. That might just be 1.5 million, Mega Man. No, that's impossible. Otherwise, it would be worth, nothing on eBay, so...
Yeah, you never know.
So, according to our good friends at Nintendo Power in 2012, so apparently it was around in 2012, Mega Man 2 was ranked the 6th best game released on a Nintendo platform. I should look up that whole list.
Yeah, and now I'm actually wondering if it's legitimately just 1.5 million cartridges.
Yeah, it's just...
that's crazy. There's a lot of... You think of how many freaking Nintendo games are out there, and now that's 6th.
Yeah, that's crazy, yo.
Yeah, that's insane.
Ugh. Because also we suck in North America. Sorry to tell everyone, burst your bubbles. We're not very good at video games. Our normal mode is actually easy mode, and hard mode is the normal difficulty in Japan, but they had to tailor it back a bit because we're not very good.
Yeah, that's a recurring theme for a bunch of games that came over to the West.
And as you're listening to this part, please go onto our Twitter account. You're going to see me tweeting out this super ugly image of this little weird guy with a pointed face. The box art on this original game is so ugly. I don't know what happened. There's like all these weird like rumors, stories about apparently they the people that were working on the game in North America didn't want to pay for like the image rights from Japan, so they contracted some artist to come in and like, oh, he's a blue guy that shoots stuff. So they just drew this like weird blue guy who's holding a gun and shooting people.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so look at it, feel our pain. Feel our pain. But that's nostalgia right there.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No. Moving on to the controls, I found the controls were quite redefined for this game. The slide when you stop was gone, which is awesome. We still haven't seen the charge shot. That's probably my only complaint about the controls. You jump, you shoot. It's excellent. I think all the mechanics were fairly well taught. They would show you a mechanic and then make you kind of master it as you went along. They just didn't throw you into obscene difficulties. And lots of those mechanics went throughout the game. Excellently built.
Yep.
Oh, you weren't on the first Mega Man episode, were you?
I don't believe I was.
That was like a solo project. Have you played the original Mega Man before?
I have. I've actually played almost everyone. I think I'm missing a few of the X's. And I haven't beaten them all. I'll give you an update on that one. But yeah, I played number 1, and I think you're right. It's kind of very slidey and not that tight. Whereas this game, I feel like they nailed the perfect weight. So when you release, your character just like stops, and when you screw up, it's totally your fault because there's a lot of very precise jumps that you have to make. And if you don't, it's your own darn fault.
Moving on to the first memory section. I was not aware of Mega Man as a child. I don't think I learned about it till like later in life. Well, I guess I knew what Mega Man was, but I didn't play any of the games. Wasn't really interested. The re-release on the Wii was a really big deal back in 2009, 2010. It brought this game kind of back into the public consciousness. I played this game for the first time in 2012. Really, really liked it. Since then, I bought it on my 3DS, and I've played it several times a year. I actually played it twice for this podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I played through it, beat it, put it down, like, in one sitting, walked away. I was like, I made no notes on this game whatsoever, so I had to pick it up and replay through it. So, like, no hesitation. Picked it up and just, like, kept playing, and this time I paused and actually made notes and stuff, so.
Nice.
How about yourself? First memories?
Not of this game particularly, more of the Mega Man franchise as a whole. And I want to say it was either Mega Man 64 or it was on the PlayStation with the Mega Man X franchise. And it's probably going to say it was the X franchise because that artwork was always really cool as a kid.
Very nice. Yeah, there was... I remember we had one, it was for the PlayStation, and it was like Mega Man's... It was a weird one where there was like a screen select, and all I remember was there was this one level where you were Zero and you were on a bike and you had to make all these tight jumps. Yeah. I've literally never seen that game in any other iteration, so no idea what the hell was going on there. Must have been like a weird spin-off.
That's one of the Mega Man X franchises.
Yeah, but I don't... like which... Okay, I guess.
Which one was it? I have no idea.
Huh, alright. Oh, maybe it was because we beat the intro level and we got to the stage select, and I have Mega Man X6, but I haven't beat the intro level. Okay, that could potentially be it.
Could be.
Very interesting. All right, so if we have no other first thoughts, let's get into the story of this game. Mega Man 2 takes place after the original Mega Man. Who would have thought? Which is set in the unspecified year during the 21st century. The year 2004, as seen in the opening shot on the PlayStation 2 15th Anniversary Collection. So there you go, thanks PlayStation. Dr. Wily, the series' main antagonist builds a new fortress and army of robotic henchmen, led by 8 new robot masters of his design: Metal Man, Air Man, Bubble Man, Quick Man, Crash Man, Flash Man, Heat Man, and Wood Man. Mega Man is sent by his creator Dr. Light to defeat Dr. Wily and his robot masters. Gentlemen. Alright, wow, what a great story. They were so imaginative back in 1988.
Yeah.
Moving on to the level notes from that point, I actually forgot to write down when you got the 3 items. So Tyson, if you remember that, could you please let me know? Again, I didn't want to play through this game a third time. I like it, but not that much. The items are: item 1 is it makes a little levitating kind of hover platform. Item 2 is a little rocket platform that shoots you across the screen. And item 3 makes you climb walls. Make sense?
Yes. Yep.
All right. The rest of the game I got down. Just like the first Mega Man title, the stages can be completed in any order. My best recommendation would be in the following order. Tyson, if you disagree, you can tell us kind of your order afterwards. How about?
Easy.
Does that work? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. I start with Metal Man stage. It's kind of like a factory or like the inner workings of a clock setting. There's a lot of conveyor belts, so you just have to make sure to keep jumping and moving and really pay attention which way the floor goes, but you shouldn't have any major issues with this level. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely the first one to start with.
Okay. The boss, Metal Man, the man himself, I guess, makes sense. He's weak against the quick boomerangs, but the Mega Buster just as easily kills this guy. He moves on a really easy pattern. Just make sure to jump over the bottom blade when he shoots out the 1, 2, and 3. So jump over 3, shoot a bunch of times, done. You've got the best weapon in the game.
Yep.
From there, I move on to Woodman's theme. It's a forest theme level. There are some annoying ape enemies in the second half of this game. And there's these weird little bird enemies that shoot eggs. I like that because it's a really easy spot to grind and refill on health and whatnot. Because when the eggs hatch, there's about 5 little tiny birds that come after you, and you can get most of them, and they drop lots of good stuff.
Yes.
Woodman is the boss here. He is weak against atomic fire and the air shooter. Apparently also the metal blades. So.
Mm-hmm. That's what I used.
Yeah. He's not super tough. You get the leaf shield from him. So, and from there, we move on to Bubble Man stage.
After we beat the second boss, you actually get, Dr. Light gives you item 3.
Ah, okay. That's the little guy that moves up and down the walls. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
From here, I would move on to Bubble Man stage. After you have a seizure and get new eye surgery, we can start this level. So you're on this awful background, and it's just like this water cascade of water. It's just like really hard on the eyes. Like, it's not good.
If you are susceptible to epileptic seizures, don't play that part.
Yeah, like get
It's
your
bad.
brother, like your mom to beat this level for you.
Yeah.
The second
really
part is slow move. Sorry. The second part is slow moving, but the underwater parts really aren't terrible. Like, they're not great, but they're not terrible. With Bubble Man, you can use the metal blades to kick this guy's butt. And now we've got a really good base of kind of items to choose from. From here, I would move on to Flash Man. Honestly, the best way to describe this place would be Icy Maze.
Alternating colored blocks, and I don't know, it's just not very the nicest.
For some reason, if you did the crash bombs first, you could use the crash bombs to help and kind of explore and get different items, power up lives, little energy tanks. So that's an option. And then his weakness is the crash bombs.
Fair
Again,
enough.
also easy to kill with metal blades and just the Mega Buster. So
Yeah, the metal blades, I really think are like the best weapon in this game.
Mm-hmm. Well, because they can shoot in multiple directions. You can shoot up, you can shoot diagonally, you can shoot straight. And as long as you're versatile and not just going to stand in the corner and just spam your button, you should be okay against lots of these early on bosses.
Yep.
From here, I'd move on to Heatman's stage. This can be a bit tricky. I would recommend having item 2 to avoid the random disappearing blocks. Use patience and items or save states. That would be my recommendations.
Yeah, and the lava floor at the beginning kind of reminds me of Zelda 2 for some reason.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's kind of got the same color scheme of like the dungeons, kind of like that dark red and gray.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then from there, so we're fighting Heatman. His weakness is the bubble lead. Very simple if you have that. Like, very simple. Mm-hmm. All these bosses can be taken out with just Mega Busters. Like, you can do a no power-up run and beat the game. So, some of the Wily stages are tough, but it is possible. So, just keep that in mind when you are playing it. From here, we'd move on to Quickman. Yikes. This part, basically, you're just falling down, and these giant light beams are coming out and killing you because they're really fast, and you're slow for some reason. So, if you don't have save states or a lot of patience or a lot of lives, this one's going to suck.
Yeah, or you don't have the maps absolutely memorized, or a map in front of you helps.
Yeah, Flashman's items work a little bit, so it's like it stops everything on the screen, but if you use it too early on, it will run out and drain. So again, one of those things like you have to know where the really tough light beams are coming at you to stop them just in time. I guess it'd be a good fail-safe to have, right?
Yeah.
But all in all, once you kind of get through this one, his weakness is Flashman's Time Stopper or the Crash Bombs. I guess you'd have to use. I would save the Flashman's Time Stopper to actually just fight him.
Yeah, and I would agree because it just basically stops him in place, and then you can just murk him in 30 seconds. So
yeah. From here, we have 2 guys left. I do Airman. There's a lot of.
Sorry, before that last one, with 3 bad guys, you get item 2.
Okay.
Yep, sorry.
Oh, I see. So really, I guess you should do Heatman towards the... I don't know. I feel like my strategy, that second time through the game, I don't know what I was reading. I found some random website I'd never seen before, and that's kind of where I got the boss order from.
Yeah, I have a different kind of order.
Okay, let's talk about your order afterwards, because it's probably better than mine. Because right now, reading through this, don't really like it. Airman, there's a lot of timed jumps. Take your time, shoot lots, you'll be fine. Airman, his weakness is the arm cannon or the leaf shield. And apparently you get item 2 here? No?
Yes. I like the leaf shield, or the woodman's powers made it super easy.
Yes. And then finally, Crashman. It's a vertical section that almost works. The vertical sections of Mega Man's not great. He's more of a horizontal player. Lots of annoying ladder sections here. The boss, Crashman, he's weak against Airman's air shots. So they're kind of like little tornadoes that shoot up in the air. Use them. Trying to beat this guy in the Mega Buster sucks. Sucks a lot. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. So what was your boss order?
I start with Metal Man.
Yep.
And then I go straight into Flashman.
Okay.
And then you get 3rd item. It goes Woodman. Then Bubble Man. And Airman. And then you get item 2, then Quickman, Crashman, Heatman last.
Awesome.
The reason for a lot of this stuff is a couple of the, like, you kind of grab the items that you need to kind of cheat your way through some of the the levels that you're beating later on.
Yeah.
And you want to save certain levels. Like, I think it's Quickman's level. Until you have item 2, which is the little, like, that's the floating platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps so much, especially with Quickman and frickin' Crashman, or no, Crashman's frickin' vertical lit ladders, because they suck.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And
Fair
then
enough.
just after you beat everybody, you get item 1 for Dr. Light. From Dr. Light, sorry. And then I guess we're off to Dr. Wily.
Sure are. Good old Wily. Back at it. Silly little bugger. There's 4 stages. The first stage, you're kind of like outside of his house. That's how I always like it. Looks like you're kind of outside. You're on these rocks. There's blue sky. And you have to make your way into the fortress. There are a lot of pick-me-ups here. Just take your time. Make sure you got full health. There's a kind of a ladder part that's kind of tough. there's like a wrong and a right way to go. So if you pick the right ladder, to climb up, you shouldn't have as much difficulties as the wrong ladder.
Yeah.
For example,
and again, I'm just saying vertical sections in this game are terrible.
yeah, they just don't do it well. They don't know how to do it well. That being said, though, you do fight the dragon as the boss in this area. He kind of reappears. He's this big, like, comical-looking dragon, chases you down, get to the top platform, hit quick boomerangs. I always get scared because he starts to flash while the screen flashes, and it looks like the game's crashing, but that's just him, like, blowing up. And that's it. We survived.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to Wily Stage 2. This area wasn't too hard. There are some annoying drops with some bikes. Bikes? Some spikes. Man, I hate the spikes in this game. I'm also not a big fan of the bikes. I think it's just my distaste of the Dutch coming through.
Just joking, making a reference to frickin' Austin Powers.
Mm-hmm. And then with this area, the last thing is like this weird block. You end up in this like weird kind of square of blocks. 2 squares will move together and they'll form a little butterfly and they'll come shoot you. Just use the metal blades or the Mega Buster. Try and avoid them as best you can though, or like learn the pattern, because you will take a lot of damage and die.
Mm-hmm. And with this one, you really gotta kind of be good with getting your ass around, because you don't want to stay in this room, because those frickin' little blocks that you have to blow up will they automatically shoot you, and they do so much damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, not good at all. From there, though, Wily Stage 3, I went the perfect way through the maze, so I kind of climbed up to the top and fell down the right hole by using the right power-up, and I got a lot of extra pickups, so that was really nice. I don't know if that was dumb luck or just muscle memory, or I was like, oh, I'm going to use my floating platform to hop up here and see where that takes me. So I might recommend take the scenic route on this one, because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and I would also kind of recommend watching a Let's Play or two of someone who knows what they're doing, because if you know how to use items 1, 2, and 3, getting around in this part is such a breeze. It can really make those really difficult, long platforming parts just wow, that saved me many lives and much time.
Oh, that's neat. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Huh. Mm-hmm. The boss in this part is the Guts Dozer. So kind of like Gutsman from the last game. Just use the quick boomerangs on him. He makes short work. Avoid his projectiles, and you're good.
Yep.
Wily Stage 4. You need 100% on your crash bombs and at least 25% on all 3 of the items to complete this level. So make sure you have that. Don't use the crash bombs. If you do, it might be worth just killing yourself and restarting with kind of full everything, because you can actually beat this level without it.
Yeah, and there's really they expect you to have full power, because you're like, well, you already beat that guy, so you have the item, you just need to have full power. Mm-hmm. And a good tip is if you see a power up for an actual one of your Mega Man power ups, and you already have the one you're using is full, don't don't throw that away. Switch to something else that you need to refill on and refill it. Play smart with it. Yeah, so
gaming 1-on-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
The boss was the guns behind the wall. Use the crash bombs and maybe make a save state and prepare to trial and error. So you have there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 7 crash bombs to shoot, 5 obstacles, and some of the guns are hidden behind crash bomb walls.
Yes.
So you have to be very creative to get around. Again, you might want to watch a Let's Play, read a strategy for this one, because it's definitely tough. But make it through there, you shouldn't have a problem with the rest of the game.
Yeah, now it's boss time.
Boss rush. Do Tyson's order. Follow Tyson's order. They probably be a lot easier than the order I kind of awkwardly read out before. If you die, just do it. Just die, kill yourself, retry with full power. Because I found right at the end, the first Wily stage, or the first Wily form right after the boss rush, can't be taken out unless you have crash bombs.
Yes.
So I don't know. That was when he was in. Was that the little helicopter thing?
I want to say yes.
I think it was really tough. Like you'd have to be really well timed and have a lot of mobility from just like a control standpoint to be able to survive. So I would recommend having full crash bombs, or there's no way you could refill the crash bombs otherwise from the final boss. I would die and redo the boss rush from full life.
Yeah. So I actually did like kind of a different order this time.
Okay.
So you do Heatman stage first.
Okay.
You kill him with Bubble Man. You go Airman. Regular powers works really good on him. He's kind of a chump.
Yeah.
So Heatman, Airman, then you go Woodman and Bubble Man, then Crashman, Quickman, Metal Man, then Flashman.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, and the boss rush, if you guys don't know or unfamiliar, it's you just have to fight every single boss in order. You start off in one room, you go to a teleporter, you have to fight a boss, and then you move to the next stage.
Yeah, I love this, like that whole like room that you're in, because it's exactly like the actual stage select screen. You're like, I love this game.
Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, yeah. I like that. Neat, cute.
Mm-hmm.
So we've beaten the boss rush. We've got through the first stage. We move to Wily number 3, the final boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting stuff. So I call him Wily number 3, or Alien Wily.
Right? Totally an alien.
So randomly you walk into this room, and he turns from Dr. Wily into an alien and starts floating around.
Yeah.
Naturally, what's an alien? What are aliens weak against? What did M. Night Shyamalan teach us? Use bubbles on him to kill him.
How can anything make bubbles as big, as giant, as monstrous as Bubble Thing makes them?
Hey, Joey, I just got a Nintendo Entertainment System. You want to play? Fuck that shit, man. This kid has bubbles.
Yeah, and then you kill him, but what's the big spoiler? We're going to do spoilers right now. You beat Alien Wily, and what does Alien Wily turn out to be?
An actual just machine that was operated by Dr. Wily, who was sitting in the room all along, but in a little control room.
Yeah. So instead of, because we know we're a really good cop, or whatever we are, a mega cop guy, we just walk away. We're like, good, we got you, Wily. Frig off. And then we go walk around for a whole year, because we see all the seasons while Mega Man's just walking.
Yeah.
Really proud of his accomplishments.
Then it shows his helmet on a hillside.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Light should have taught Mega Man some humility, and that would have definitely like stopped this game series at 2 or 3.
Yep.
Awesome. Current thoughts on this title?
It's fantastic. I think this is one of those platformers that really holds up. The sound design is fantastic. Like, this is one of those games that you have to play with the music on, because it's, especially at the beginning, oh god, it's so good.
Yeah, I really love this game. I do think this is probably the strongest entry in the original series. I don't think it's like surpassed until you get into X games. The X series overall is better, but I'd be hard pressed. Like, if I had to pick one game, Mega Man 2 or like Mega Man X, I think I might play this one. That's tough. Those ones are definitely 1 and 2, but I can't say enough good things about this game. It's great. Yeah. So lastly, reason why we're doing this. Somebody's listening to this, driving home with their NES Mini in the back of their car, and they're like, "Oh man, I can't wait. What game should I play first?" I might say play this game first.
Yep. It's a quick play, but it's challenging. It's hard. It'll be something that, like, you probably won't beat at your very first sitting unless you got some skills in your back pocket. But definitely a fun game to start out with, and it's neat to see where this franchise that it kind of sprouted out of nothing. So.
I would be so bold to say, if you were to only play 3 games on your NES Mini, this should be one of them. That's how highly I think of this game. We'd have to refer back to my list of NES games to think, am I being accurate, or maybe like it rekindled my love? We should really go back and look at our top 10 list at some point and criticize ourselves
and talk shit about ourselves.
Yeah, but that's 14. Almost halfway. Like, we're almost passing right now.
Two things.
Yep.
Or actually, I should just say, like, yeah, two things. One, this actually spurred the mighty number 9, which we still haven't really talked about or even played.
Okay.
And the other one is this isn't the only Mega Man 2. There actually was a Mega Man 2 on the PC.
Really?
It wasn't made by Capcom. It was made by some crappy other company that they didn't even do a really good job of it, and it wasn't even really a Mega Man game. It was just like some adventure game with a guy with a gun. Called it Mega Man 2.
No way. All right,
Yeah,
I'm going to check that out. So people at home, listen to our full podcast. Maybe go back and listen to a couple other ones in the catalog. Then go check out on YouTube Mega Man 2 for the PC. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. What was your first point? Oh, Mighty Number 9. So, again, we'll kind of take a step back. I've been playing Axiom Verge, which is just a Super Castlevania clone. A lot of fun. Really like it. Once we get through the core games, we should look at like cool spin-off games. So Mighty Number 9, Axiom Verge, and do a couple Undertale, and do a couple games like the spin-off games that are more popular, more successful. Because I was talking to someone about why isn't there been another Metroid game on the Wii U yet, or like I guess the Wii had Other M, but I was like, yeah, why don't they just make a giant Super Metroid game? Like take Super Metroid, awesome, great game, but make the world gigantic. Make it a roguelike game, so that you're just having, you know, like 1,000 rooms to explore, and there's a different pattern. How much fun would that be?
It'd be so awesome. And like the nice thing is you could literally set it up so it's, you're just on a different planet this time.
Yeah, like doesn't need a great story, just literally make it for fun. And I mentioned that to him, and he's like, does that game exist right now? And I was like, no, I just made it up in my brain. He's like, oh, because I want to play it. So showed him Axiom Verge. Was really excited. I'm pretty sure he bought that. So game developers on that one, awesome. Mighty Number 9, I'm coming for you. And one day I will play you.
We will get there.
One day. All right, and we're actually going to call this an episode. Now, originally, this was recorded as one individual long episode where we covered the two games. I found it was kind of hard to consume, and what I'm going to do is actually break these into two separate episodes. So as you're listening to this, there will be kind of a second part, but it's not so much a second part as it is a whole new series. So that's why we missed kind of our little wrap-up things that we normally talk about, and we will be recapping this game on the next show. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks with a new episode, the second part of this. And again, it just kind of helps us keep content rolling. Thanks so much for the support. Love you. Thanks for listening. You can contact Podtendo on Twitter at Podtendo Podcast, email us at podtendo@gmail.com, or check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Podtendo. The music of Podtendo was used without permission and is property of Nintendo.